Imagine being born into complete silence. No voices, no music, no sound at all. Now imagine a single injection changing that, within weeks. That's not a future promise. It happened in 2026. Welcome to PingTellect. Today we're looking at one of the most quietly extraordinary medical breakthroughs in recent years, a gene therapy that is giving people born deaf the ability to hear. We'll look at how it works, who it's helping, and what comes next. To understand why this therapy works, we need to understand what causes this particular type of deafness. Deep inside your inner ear is a tiny snail-shaped structure called the cochlea. Inside it are thousands of microscopic hair cells, sensory cells that convert sound waves into electrical signals and send them to your brain. For this process to work, those hair cells need a protein called otoferlin. Otoferlin acts as the messenger. It's what allows the hair cells to actually communicate with your auditory nerve. Without it, your ear can physically detect sound but cannot transmit it to your brain. The signal never arrives. This condition is caused by a mutation in a single gene called OTOF. People born with this mutation are profoundly deaf, unable to hear even extremely loud sounds. And until recently, the only option was a cochlear implant, a device that electrically stimulates the auditory nerve. Helpful, but not the same as natural hearing. Gene therapy takes a completely different approach. Instead of working around the problem, it fixes it at the source. Researchers used a modified virus, called an adeno-associated virus or AAV, to carry a healthy, working copy of the OTOF gene directly into the inner ear. The virus itself is harmless. It's essentially a biological delivery vehicle, engineered to carry the genetic instruction into the cells that need it. The injection is delivered through a thin membrane at the base of the cochlea called the round window. Once inside, the virus deposits the working gene into the hair cells. Those cells can now produce otoferlin. The signal can now reach the brain, and hearing begins. The speed at which this happened stunned researchers. Most patients began regaining some hearing within just 1 month of the injection. A study published in Nature Medicine followed 10 patients between the ages of 1 and 24, all with profound deafness caused by OTOF mutations, treated at 5 hospitals in China with researchers from the Karolinska Institute in Sweden. Every single participant showed improved hearing. Before treatment, the average level of sound they could detect was 106 decibels, roughly the volume of a chainsaw. After 6 months, that improved to 52 decibels, a normal conversational level. But the most remarkable story belonged to a 7-year-old girl. 4 months after her single injection, she was able to hold everyday conversations with her mother, a child who had been born into silence, talking, laughing, listening. The therapy also worked in adult patients, significant because previous studies had only tested children. The lead researcher, Dr. Maoli Duan, described it simply. This is a huge step forward in the genetic treatment of deafness, one that can be life-changing for children and adults. As always on PingTellect, we tell you what's real and what isn't yet. This therapy currently targets one specific gene mutation, OTOF. There are at least 150 genes linked to hearing loss, and this treatment only addresses one of them. That means it won't help the majority of people who are deaf. The therapy is also not yet FDA approved or available outside clinical trials. It remains experimental, though advancing rapidly. The most common side effect observed was a temporary reduction in a type of white blood cell called neutrophils. No serious adverse reactions were reported. But researchers are already expanding their work. The same team is now investigating other genes including GJB2 and TMC1, which cause far more common forms of genetic deafness. Animal studies are already showing promising results. For decades, the cochlear implant was the best medicine could offer. It changed lives. But it simulates hearing electrically, not biologically. Recipients often describe it as hearing, but not quite hearing. Functional, but not natural. What this gene therapy offers is different. It restores the biological mechanism itself, the hair cells, the otoferlin, the signal to the brain. Natural hearing, not a workaround. And if the same principle can be applied to other hearing genes, which researchers believe it can, we may be approaching a moment where genetic deafness becomes a condition medicine can genuinely reverse rather than merely manage. A 7-year-old girl having a conversation with her mother 4 months after a single injection. That sentence is worth sitting with for a moment. Science doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the form of a child hearing her mother's voice for the very first time. That's your PingTellect for today. Subscribe for more science that connects to your world. And drop a comment. What other medical breakthroughs would you like us to cover?